Today I want to talk about phone and voicemail. First of all, remember, when we use the phone, the goal is to get a meeting. You don't want to ask someone to marry you on the first date. The goal is to find common ground, find out if there's a good fit before we move on to the next step of the sales process. The good thing about using phone is that you can best hear emotion and understand rather than second guess what the other person is saying. How many times have you shot an email to someone and they replied back and you weren't sure if they were angry or upset or whatever? Same way with text messaging. You send a text message to someone, they respond maybe in all caps and you're wondering if they're angry with you. Just because an email doesn't bounce back doesn't mean they're still at the company. People don't always update LinkedIn, they don't always update the website, and people move around a lot. When it comes to voicemail samples, my suggestion is to keep it short, sweet, to the point, and to arouse curiosity. I want to set proper expectations that people don't answer their phone as much as they did in the past. 90% of the time, expect your phone call to go to voicemail. A lot of companies, people do not have desk phones at their desk anymore, and cell phone is their only way. And if you don't have their cell phone, it makes your life much more difficult. Again, we talked about in other videos that if you don't reach out, you have a 0% chance. If you reach out to folks, it goes up to 1%. So on average, as we talked about in previous videos, it takes 8 to 12 attempts to get a hold of someone. You have to think of each voicemail as a miniature commercial. So like Coca-Cola, they don't create a commercial and play it one time. They play it over and over again. You've got to do the same thing. So whether you're using the phone or voicemail, the number one thing is to arouse curiosity and pique interest. Regarding keeping your voicemail short, sweet, to the point, remember, human attention spans are around 9 seconds. They're shorter than goldfish. One of the questions that people ask me is, should you leave a message? I got to share a quick story with you. My wife and I have a subscription to Sirius, which is satellite radio. And so for some reason, I let my subscription expire. I kept getting a phone call from an 800 number, which I just let to go to voicemail. I swear that the company left me at least 20, they made 20 calls and never left a voicemail. One day, I was curious of who was calling me, and so I decided to answer the phone, and they said, hey, we're Sirius Communications, and we wanted to make sure you wanted to update your membership and not let your thing expire. And I said to them, I wish you would have just left a voicemail from the get-go rather than make me wonder who keeps calling me. So if you don't leave a voicemail and you keep calling from the same number, it makes you look like you're stalking people, which makes people feel uncomfortable, and it might just creep people out. So my opinion and best practices is always leave a voicemail. If you do happen to catch them live, always ask them if they're in a meeting or if it's a good time to chat. You don't know if they're on a plane, you don't know if they're in the bathroom, if they're going through security. You always want to show respect and professionalism. And it might be something along, if you do catch someone live, having an opening statement that's very, very, very short, sweet, to the point. It might go something along the lines of this. Hey Bob, Ray Rucker with Connect 5000. I'm following up on an email I sent you this morning. Did I catch you in a meeting? And then pause. I want to give proper context on why I'm calling them. I want to identify myself quickly and have a series of about 6 to 7 voicemails in case you don't catch them, where you can leave a miniature commercial about who you are and what problems that you solve.